Hello and welcome to another edition of the One Kindred, One Business Initiative series brought to you by the Office of the Chief Economic Advisor to the Imo State Government under the leadership of distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma. My name is Kenneth Amechi and I'm a professor of business and sustainable development at the University of Edinburgh in the UK. I also hold a chair in sustainable finance at the European University Institute in Florence, Italy, and I'm the Chief Economic Advisor to the Imo State Government. It's my pleasure to welcome you to today's edition, which promises to be very interesting. Well, before we start, I want to invite my co-moderator, Professor Jude Nzako, to say hello to you.
Hello, viewers and guests. I welcome you all to today's webinar. My name is Professor Jude Nzako, and I'm the Director General for Imo State Investment Promotion Agency. Today's webinar, as always, is fully packed with information. So please try and relax and ensure you participate in what we're doing. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you. And if you're new to the One Kindred, One Business Initiative, which we call OKOBI, this is a clip that will give you an overview of it.
Susie, nne m ahụ gị bụ sọ mma. Ọ dị ka ị nwetala ọrụ n'oil company.
You see nwanne m mgbado udo o nweghịkwa ọrụ oil company m nwetara. Ihe hụrụ m na-amụke wụkwa aka ọrụ OKOBI.
Ele nke wụkwa OKOBI. Biko tupu enye m azụ, ahụchiele m anya. Ahụ m chọrọ enyemaka.
Ya bụ na ịnụbeghị maka OKOBI. Ngwa gee ntị. OKOBI wa atụmatụ ọma gọọmenti hiwere iji kpochapụ ụbịam na-akpụ ndị mmadụ isi aghara aghara. OKOBI ga-ekewapụta ohere ọrụ maka gị o, maka ọha obodo gị niile. Naanị legharịa anya gburugburu gị. Chepụta nnọọ ihe ọbụla gị na ụmụnne na ụmụnna gị, ndị enyi ma ọ bụ ndị obodo gị nwere ike ịgbakọta aka mee mepụta ya mma, dịka ịzụ ọkụkọ, azụ, oke bekee, ịkọ pineapple, ịsụ mmanụ nkwụ ma ọ bụ mmanụ aṅụ na ọtụtụ ihe ndị ọzọ dị iche iche. Unu hazichi usoro eji eme ya ka ọ bụrụ ihe ga-amịpụta ego. Unu agbapụzie ya ọsọ gaa kpọtụrụ onye ji ọkwa Chief Economic Advisor n'ọchịchị steeti Imo. Ọ ga-agbazi unu olu nye unu ntụziaka, hazie ụkpụrụ a ga-eji mee ya ka ọ kwụsị ike ma mịta ezi mkpụrụ. Ọ ga-enyekwa aka n'ikewapụta ohere ọrụ nye ndị na-achọ ọrụ n'obodo.
Biko nye m akara ekwentị ha ka m kpọọ ahụ ozugbo.
Ngwa were ihe dedata ya 07013512035 07013512035 ma ọ bụ 09114360076 09114360076. Ịkpọrọ ha ị ga-enweta ọsịsa maka ihe niile gbasara OKOBI. OKOBI wa atụmatụ bụ ịgba Shared Prosperity Government nke Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma. OKOBI, ụmụnna wike, ọwụ ha agha.
So welcome back. Let's go straight to business now. In the last 2-3 weeks, we've been encouraging communities to adopt the OKOBI business model. There are about 657 autonomous communities in Imo State. So anya na-agarịla na-agwa ndị mmadụ sị ha jisi ike bido business. OKOBI can operate in different ways. And when they go at a kindred level, family level, or even alumni association. Community, autonomous community can set up also business. If government were Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, that's federal government in where Imo State, Ada Palm, Imo State in where Concord Hotel, Imo State in where I now just want to see my government in where you can business or look when you hear Boshiri an autonomous community from having a business. The autonomous community got to be on town hall. We can run church, Kushian Kujime Hendos or Ichicha. Zoom ha na school. Mgbe ochie when they for ala bekee or digger school through community effort. Anyị na-ajụkwa n'onwe anyị taa, what stops us as communities from creating our own businesses? That's why we have sent out consultants through the Office of the Chief Economic Advisor. The government now, I see each community should consider creating 1 or 2 businesses. It was exactly about a year ago that the governor made a pronouncement that communities, autonomous communities in Imo State should consider creating their own businesses. And that policy statement is today being translated into practice. And that's why the consultants have been moving from one community to the other. And today we have invited the consultants to learn from their experiences, as well as the opportunities they would have stumbled on in the process. So let me go straight to Udo Nguma. Udo, do you want to say hello to our audience?
Hello, Prof.
Ndewo. Kọwaa onwe gị na ihe ị na-eme. Kelekwana ndị ga-ege anyị ntị.
Ndị na-ege anyị ntị, ndewo no. Good day, everyone, our listeners, wherever you are at the moment. My name is Udo Nguma. I'm a director with Kurt EduServe Limited. It's a company registered in Nigeria for educational consultancy, and we also assist people, especially in researching towards good governance and social justice. So Kembo, yes, and I'm the Imo State government, especially the Office of the Chief Economic Advisor, for this wonderful opportunity. When you need to be consulting across the communities in Imo State in finding a way every community gajitary economic independence. Communities. Prof, you could tell when you said the federal government has a business, state governments in way business. Even some local governments should even have businesses. I know some do. Then communities in particular, way business. That is the essence, like the government policy, which you have rightly stated here. Now every community should key in this wonderful opportunity the government in now. Key in to make sure that every community can sustain itself. Because enwere ihe ji mara onye ọbụla, enwere ihe ọdịnala, omenala anyị, enwere ndị nke ha wee zụ ahịa, enwere ndị nke ha wee kọọ ọrụ ugbo. So here with the time, the right opportunity, every community nwere iji lee ihe ndị ahụ wọnọtarachi from nọ n'obodo ha, mee ya ka ọ dị ka wuzie business, ga na-enye ndị ntorobịa anyị ego, ga na-eme ha hapụ ịnọ na-aga astray. Because I gwara m na visit communities, asị m onye na-achọghị nwa ya rie nri n'ama ya nyejuo ya afọ n'ụlọ. If you don't want your children to err, give them, show them a way to sustain their lives economically, and they will add value to the society. I'm very, very pleased to be in this program. Thank you very much, Prof.
Do you want to also share with us some of the communities you get a lot to in this process and your experience dealing with them?
Yes, I got to so many communities, but I want to use two particular communities as an example because what they did was very amazing, and I was so excited to be there. One, the Ife community in Mbise. These people, the eji ha kanabo ayoga si government ekele diri ha. Nihi na ha nwere business already they have in mind, and they want a way to idealize this business, model it, get it to a level the bankable. And yeah, this is ndị buying as a kwam neighbor amana. So me being there for this consultancy was a very perfect thing. Yeah, they call him before. Ogengara Likobo, and His Royal Highness Dr. Sir Emmanuel. He was so excited. The 14 villages make up Alike were all in attendance. All the PGs of the 3 communities make Alike, they were all there present. And when they came, they were asking questions so very wonderful. Because you may want to hear about foreign direct investment. the Eze and the people who are well, they are already made economically. And they have the issue of every Christmas or every festive period upon the obodo can have rice, can have beans. So the question I got there, without learning how to fish. So that made this business, these communities, oh my God, they were asking questions in how can this thing come to life? Okay, how do they register? I'm saying happen. Now the government is willing to register them. The government has sent us to the communities as consultants. So I know how discover that particular business in Agaga Nobuda, because you can't just build a castle in the air. And when once we identify that, challenges in that some villages in them visit before. They are ready, but leadership has been the problem. And the communities in the Nazweze, and then as on OPG, and then on the traditional prime minister, and this thing they are not ready for this job, because what we are doing is all hands must be on deck. All the stakeholders, the women leaders, the youth leaders, the town union presidents, and all the in council, they are all part of this. So any part that is not present becomes a problem. And here, of course, our leadership tussle in communities. So when these people are ready, give a watch at all the communities we are visiting. You see, not all of them will cooperate, because if all these stakeholders are not together, it becomes a difficult one. So these two communities as instance now, these people, they are intact and they have all it takes. So measuring how after these consultations I need I a business name. They are even willing to register. The government to register it for them. They were clapping because this is what they want. We have built a business. So how they can run the business? They might not just say, what will government do for us? Many people matter that they will not depend on government forever. Pharaoh Joseph, if the government now, because our government in Nigeria, I like what our governor is doing, because we have seen, we run a government in Nigeria as if it's not a continuity. Already a very wonderful project, share communities new, another government, but so Governor Amatalahe Ebunobia, with Office of the Chief Economic Advisor, of which once a community runs a business is an entity. They don't need to depend on the government again. They will drive their development themselves. They will run their own thing, development, get their children employed, get the money, the profit they make thereof. They can use it for community development and all those things. And you see, a community will thrive. And it will encourage healthy competition amongst our various communities in Imo State. This is a very wonderful project. I will stop here so that my other consultants will share their own experiences. Because in field, this is so overwhelming and many people are keying in. I've told you one or two things that deterred some communities not to participate in this.
Okay, well, thank you, Prof.
Well, first, I have to thank him for those observations. Obviously, one of the reasons for their visit to communities for us is to be our ambassador there, to gather some information and see how government can come in. So, though, yes, you've identified that leadership is an issue. Which I agree with you, because if people are not together, it's going to be difficult for them to share common values and expect good things together. So how do you think the government can come in, or the OKOBI management can come in to resolve the issues you have identified? Is there anything you think from your observation on the floor? Is there anything you think the government or the OKOBI team can do to help these communities?
Yes, Prof. Biko, Ema, Oboko Shinaha Jonjo. there are many things that can bring about leadership also in the various communities. If we watch Obube now, Obube is talking about their Eze problem, their challenges. Many communities, I don't want to start mentioning, Mama cause some more harm to what we are doing. You see, if the government wants to come into this, it will be very cumbersome. Now, for me, if the government should handle it, it should set a panel different on that. But we can look at Ndekwerekwe, as a Catholic, as Onyekwere no many baptism. So we look at the communities out of over 600 communities in Imo State. I know it's not all these things, every problem, yes, when their own peculiar challenges. But when it comes to the leadership problem, Moweze tussles in communities or leadership tussle, this is not what we should handle. When I get to such communities, I just visit them, talk to one of them. Like in a community where you have two people contesting for Eze, I don't think the office of the chief economic advisor will step in here. This is what the chief.
I understand. I was wanting you to maybe come up with some suggestion. Can there be an alternative way or some other way you can help those communities? After all, it is not compulsory that the ASA must be or the PG must be part of the OKOBI structure there. Is there another way you can work with communities who are in talks for PGs and ASA? Oh,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So that's to say that will be a solution to that leadership problem.
Yes, what I did, yes, I even reported in one of my visitations. What I did is this: we create a smaller unit, that's cooperative unit now. Yeah. Like I did it. I have Uchoma FCM Limited. That one is Atotula Momara. Now, what I did is when there is this challenge and we cannot get the whole communities together, what I see is that like I said, those people they ready. They form. I have 5 cooperatives now, which has been formed in the process of this, whereby at the community level we cannot do it. That one is an extra thing, and in our reports, that what we can now do is get all these cooperatives, by this idea, into the stream, into the whole process of OKOBI. But where it becomes difficult is some of them are not very viable. I've given them the tax to get all those things ready. So that the solution in this is, where a community we cannot create such business at the community level because of challenges, whichever form it is coming up. We look at the splinter units, like kindreds, or where community get into 2 or 3. One, then you assist them. That is what we are doing. Assist them to form their own group business, and we now register it.
Right.
So yes.
Yeah, I think yes, you get my drift there. I didn't want to suggest anything to you, but I believe that where the PG, the SA, and all those cannot agree, that should not really affect the OKOBI concept. Remember, it is a business. It is not a charity. It's not something that government has decided to dole out money to communities. No, it is a business concept, a business model that the government is supporting to energize communities or community members to be able to help themselves, produce goods that help themselves or feed themselves. So it's not a handout. Therefore, when you go there and the community, they're not in agreement, it should not really affect the movement or the business, although it would have helped if they are together. Because I know why you're worried, why you want the SA or the PG to be involved, just to ensure that the project is sustained and it has the right momentum. But like you said, if For instance, people go into cooperatives or even a limited liability. It is now business. And only people who fancy that, who are prepared to indulge in business and make profit, they're the ones that should be there, not necessarily a PG or a EZE who may not be interested in business. So I think that is the way we must promote it in communities. Let's not go and gather the whole communities, whether they are interested or not, whether they have the rightful skill or not, whether they are prepared to even learn. No, it wouldn't help the concept. So I think it should be when we go into a community, we identify one or two individuals there who are interested in business, but who are struggling because they may not have the capacity or they may not know how to go about it. We'll bring them together and use the government facility to start them up. For instance, the Office of Chief Economic Advisor is championing free registration, CSC registration. The individuals can take advantage of that. And of course, when the government is prepared now to give grant to those businesses that are already established and doing well, they prove that they are going to be in business, then those businesses will get government grant. But if you don't establish, you can't prove yourself that you're in business, government is not going to give you money. And I don't think the Chief Economic Advisor is promoting that. We will promote any business that we see that is serious, that needs help, and then they'll get the support needed. So that's what I think you guys should take on board. Let's not bother too much whether the SZA and PGI and Unity, if they're not, let's find an alternative way to have the business set up there. Thank you. But I appreciate the work you're doing.
Yeah, Prof, please. In the course of this work we are doing as consultants, we have our terms we are clearly defined. The government is looking holistically, just at the community level. So there are many, like, I'm very, very grateful now that you are saying it on air, because we have so many people, so many group-owned business we know that are very viable, that want to come on board. But, there is limited funding or assistance from the budget which the government has given out, because they were looking at community-based. Now, if we are expanding this to group-owned business, which could not encompass the whole community, this is going to be a welcome development. And I'm telling you, from what I've seen in the field, many people will come on board with this OKOBI initiative. Thank you very much.
Udo, Prof, the point now, different schemes anywhere. The groups, individual groups, community groups, or kindred groups, they have been exposed to the idea of grants anywhere. So we just concluded one where a group or an OKOBI business will be able to win up to 5 million naira. So, but this one we are doing now, where we are sending consultants to autonomous communities, or specifically for autonomous communities. And it's also good to mention that the autonomous communities are not paying anything, from idea generation to bankable business proposal, including registering their name, the name of a company somewhere with CAC or Corporate Affairs, Corporate Affairs Commission, or with the Imo State Cooperative Institution. So we are not charging them anything. The government will cover the cost of the consultants and the cost of business registration. But this is mainly now for autonomous communities. And like I said in the beginning, and when 657 autonomous communities in Imo State, I want to support them. Imagine if that's 300 and something of them had a business. It would revolutionize Imo State to a large extent. And that's what we are talking about. So, so in the interest of time, Udo, just stay on there. Let's move on to Chioma. Prof, let's say when I do Udo. But otherwise, we can move on to Chioma. Chioma, you can introduce yourself, say hello to our audience, and we'll take it from there. Hello, Chioma, with us. Okay, let's go to engineer. Engineer, do you want to say hello to the audience and we take it from there?
Hello, everybody. I'm available, Prof.
Please say hello to the audience then and let's move.
Hello, everybody. My name is I'm Uchoma Amadi Akachukwu. I'm a businesswoman and I'm an OKOBI consultant.
Okay. Look when the communities in Naka so far and hear your experience dealing with them.
I may name a lot of communities, but I'm going to speak on two. Ihito Ogada na OBB2. Ihito Ogada. Oge m gara to Ihito Ogada, they welcomed me very much and they were excited about the OKOBI business. In fact, agwara m ha maka OKOBI and they received me so well. Ha dịcha very excited na-ajụ m otu ha ga-esi mee ya. Maasị nwụ that na OKOBI were pet project from the governor through the chief economic advisor to the government. That all were community business. Anyị eme test run on groups and it worked so fine. And a lot of like enwere OKOBI students, like the one in Uni Agric, ha na-eme perfumes. That other students, the one I attended, Nkeke Ombadiwe University, where government gave groups grants, that I witnessed, some got 1.5 million, some got 2 million, some got 5 million. That OKOBI is really trying for the community. Government, since the groups were doing so well, he decided to go down to communities. Since Nigeria were a business just like NNPC, Imo State were Adapam, Imo State were Concord. But how say, okay, how can they help the communities? They decided to go down to communities where communities will now own their own business. So now, communities will now decide what they are going to do to help themselves. Instead of every morning, how Anna or diaspora members saying, wete ego. Okakwanumma. Give them hook to fish than giving them fish. Nge nyere mmadụ hook, kụziere ya otu o si akpata ego, than ị na-enye ya nri. Ọ bahụ n'uru. Ọ kara m mma mụnwa ga-asị, kụziere m otu esi agụta azụ than ị na-enye m azụ. Ntata aga m ata echi. So now, gịnị ka ha ga-eme to alleviate themselves instead of waiting for the government? Everything now, government in government in. There are things community can do for themselves. If they start business, the thing will with a business, again, employment. Because you cannot employ people outside that community, or one day community. Instead of youth, Sugejena Nwari, Mkpurumiri, and the rest of them. Okaraham, how things at the end of the day, when salaries coming in, they have things going on. A lot of things will be good. Again, when miscreants in the society. So they bought the business just like OBB2. Hasim na ha ga-eme this thing nke OBB2 hasim that na ha ga-eme poultry. No, bakery. We looked at the whole place. This is where I come from. There was nothing like bakery there. He decided na ha ga-eme bakery. Bakery and eba ga-ere bread. As we were talking, I said, enwe eba ga-ere bread. Aga na-eshi from town na-ebute bread every morning. Eme bakery, people will be buying there from there. And that business will go well. And in fact, they were even showing me a place, ha ga-eme mini bakery there. From there, they can expand. So everything went on so well that they bought the idea. They were not asking us what government can do for them. And I told them, government will help you to register the business. But business now go for you can get grants. Government will not give you money to start the business. All business is bido. And they bido the grants, there will be competition. Other people will compete with you. If you do well and you win, they will give you grants to alleviate the business. And another thing government can help you, they will also give you loans if you do well. Government again give loan. I gave them an instance like when you go to bank to look for a loan. The bank guy may have na feasibility study. Ha ga-ele ihe imega. Manazie na ha nye gị ego, ị ga-channel the money to other sources. Na ị ga-use that money for that particular business ị ga-eme. So the same thing with OKOBI. Each go from this, government will help you get the loan. But then you have to show evidence of what you're doing. And they will know that you're going to use the money to do that particular thing they are giving you the money for. Hey, query. So the next thing now, I told them as a consultant, I will help them with the process. I return on the consent form, then we take it from there. In fact, they were already giving me names that they were going to give their company, which gave me joy. Same thing with the other Itogada. In fact, they started forming committees before me. And all this gave me joy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Choma. But a lot of the concerns because we have been talking about the positive side of things and how well they are doing. They may also have their reservations. Some reservations so that if we can address some of them online now, in case they are listening to us or other people are wondering, see here and there, or they can hear what?
Yes, Hajugam Shem, no Pamma in a community, or where everybody get quicker him, Mashi always you. No ways you. She in a community, ndekwe, Homashi always you. But in a community, majority carries the vote. You go ahead with the people of like minds. Or when no more in a community, everybody everybody again. But majority will always toe the right path. You move with the majority that accepts you. How do you my government or ego? Government ego. Government aga start rigi business. All no ga start a business. But as the business progresses, government will now give you grants. Hey, kwete. And they will always help you with loans.
Okay, thank you very much. All some of the things people are yes, but at the end of the day, communities, it's up to them to organize themselves first because like I said, and with 657 communities, we don't expect 100%. But at the same time, we're also expecting a significant number of them. Maybe sometimes some people know politics in different forms. But how can they learn how is that convinced now it's in their own best interest? They may then come forward. Okay, so yeah.
In my hand on us, or politics. Politics has nothing to do with it. Hope was or them this like I also told them that OKOBI has gone beyond the state. Even federal is trying to adopt it too. So it has nothing to do with politics. Imagine has him away every chana government no. This thing has nothing to do with politics. Whether with the governor or without the governor, OKOBI will go on. OKOBI has even gone beyond the office. It has come to stay. And nothing can stop it. Community is fully in charge. The government
thank you, Prof.
It's again to commend her for the work she's doing. And I know that there is a common problem at the moment in communities, just like Udo earlier pointed out. In many communities in Imo State at the moment, there is this problem between the PGs and the AZE. and DPG. So all got the difficult, really, on the consultant going to any community, they expect that the Haga, Webe, PG, and yes, got together, they happy, set up a business together, or a mountain task. We may have it in just very few working like that. But with my experience so far, doing something with communities here and there, I know there are issues. But, Madam, I think Oga, the one that na make more effort. He may explain to the communities, because the OKOBI we're talking about is all community based. Whether Maonyes or Soya, Mapi or Soya, but this OKOBI is in that community. So if you have members of the community who are part of the structure, that belongs to that community. So go to our government showing anything tomorrow. They go into every community, you find 2 or 3 OKOBI businesses there. Then you choose one that is doing better than the others. So now core and the community that is business. Government has no interest in their business, and government will never contemplate taking it away from them. Government is only trying to assist them, find their feet, and trade profitably. Because when somebody says, I'm in business, then the bottom line is profit. And that's what they should be interested in at all times. I know that there'll be sustenance issue which they have to worry about. And that's where government now has interest to make sure that the business is supported and it grows and it can sustain them. So let me not overflog it, but I think you've done well so far. We need to hear more of the challenges that you're having in the field so that you can also recommend solutions, and then we know how to take it from there. So thank you, Prof.
Thank you. If you are just joining the program, this is the One Kindred, One Business Initiative series brought to you by the Office of the Chief Economic Advisor to the Imo State Government.
Susie, nne m ahụ gị bụ sọ mma. Ọ dị ka ị nwetala ọrụ n'oil company.
You see nwanne m mgbado udo o nweghịkwa ọrụ oil company m nwetara. Ihe hụrụ m na-amụke wụkwa aka ọrụ OKOBI.
Ele nke wụkwa OKOBI. Biko tupu enye m azụ, ahụ shele m anya. Ahụ m chọrọ enyemaka.
Ya bụ na ịnụbeghị maka OKOBI. Ngwa gee ntị. OKOBI wa atụmatụ ọma gọọmenti hiwere iji kpochapụ ụbịam na-akpụ ndị mmadụ isi aghara OKOBI ga-ekewapụta ohere ọrụ maka gị o maka ọha obodo gị niile naanị legharịa anya gburugburu gị chepụta nnọọ ihe ọbụla gị na ụmụnne na ụmụnna gị ndị enyi maọbụ ndị obodo gị nwere ike ịgbakọta aka mepụta ya mma dịka ịzụ ọkụkọ, azụ, oke bekee, ịkọ painapụl, ịsụ mmanụ nkwụ maọbụ mmanụ aṅụ na ọtụtụ ihe ndị ọzọ dị iche iche. Unu hazichi usoro eji eme ya ka ọ bụrụ ihe ga-amịpụta ego. Unu agbapụzie ya ọsọ gaa kpọtụrụ onye ji ọkwa Chief Economic Advisor n'ọchịchị steeti Imo. Ọ ga-agbazi unu olu nye unu ntụziaka hazie ụkpụrụ a ga-eji mee ya ka ọ kwụsị ike ma mịta ezi mkpụrụ. Ọ ga-enyekwa aka n'ikewapụta ohere ọrụ nye ndị na-achọ ọrụ n'obodo.
Biko nye m akara ekwentị ha ka m kpọọ ahụ ozugbo.
Ngwa were ihe dedata ya 07013512035 07013512035 maọbụ 09114360076 09114360076. Ịkpọrọ ha ị ga-enweta ọsịsa maka ihe niile gbasara OKOBI. OKOBI wa atụmatụ bụ ịgba Shared Prosperity Government nke Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma.
OKOBI ụmụnna wike ọwụ ha agha.
So welcome back. So let's move to Engineer Mbe Oje. Engineer, do you want to say hello to our audience and we take it from there? You know, we can go on mute so that we can move on.
Okay, sorry. My name is Engineer Mboje Edwin Mary. I'm a lecturer with the Department of Mechanical Engineering in Imo State Polytechnic, Omuma. And I'm also the Chairman Board of Trustees Back to Nature Pathfinders Initiative back to the nature of an NGO. I will start by saying that the OKOBI initiative is perfectly in line with what we are doing in our NGO. Our NGO stands on a tripod: reorientation, training, and mentorship. So we try to enlighten our people to know of the abundant opportunities around them. And then we tried a little we could to train them. Okay. So m si ihe anyị na-eme na the Back to Nature Pathfinders Initiative gbadoro ụkwụ n'ụzọ ihe atọ: reorientation, training, and mentorship. So we enlighten people on the opportunities around them, especially in even we're involved in other things, but for now, due to the food crisis in the nation, we concentrate on agriculture. We had a lot of opportunities around us, which we expose people to. After that, we train them in whichever agricultural skills they're interested in and guide them in setting up their farms or their related businesses. And we continue mentoring them until they stabilize. So here are more or less what the Office of the Chief Economic Advisor to the government is doing, and we are really championing it. So our NGO bugara in the office. From there, the opportunity of being appointed a consultant. So by the grace of God, I've gone to many communities in respect of this OKOBI community engagement program. Then some of I wouldn't want to dwell so much on some of the issues my colleagues have spoken on.
Community in Dikarala, because our yes. So that other communities also, we know that there are communities that yes. are embracing this idea.
Yes, sorry back, I'm trying now. Some of the communities I've visited, but I'm actually mentioned 1 or 2 or 3 experiences. One at Umuche.
Odika engineer and challenges. Yeah, Chigozie, can we continue with you? We can say hello to our audience and we take it from there.
Okay, Prof. I'm Ibe Chigozie, and I'm the president of Evergreen Farmers Multipurpose Cooperative Society, based in Ikeju local government. Our cooperative aims at helping members to scale up their revenue, and also in line with the OKOBI initiative. In our cooperative, it's a farmers cooperative, so we help members to make sure they set up their farms. Those Namabuho that yes, farming or a lucrative venture, they are now into farming. And we put resources together to establish business. When we head each other, right now we have a farm. We have a pepper farm where we plant up to 1 hectare of pepper. So about this OKOBI initiative, I have visited some communities. Mainly, I'll talk about two. Agalam na Nisi Autonomous Community. Nisi Nabata the program of Mofuma, and they had ready to queue into the program. This OKOBI and OKOBI only help. OKOBI is all about investing together to earn more. I make sure I tell them why it is necessary to put resources together. That yes, enwe ha na-eme na community. On ile anya in Imo State today, one of the issues a na-enwe rural-urban migration. Again, in some villages, you will not see the youths. And again at town, at Toronto. If people in the communities can put resources together, make a business in their communities, okay, reduce rural-urban migration. And the was people now just say, how do we do this thing? How do we start our business? How do we start business in the community? In OKOBI, all the very simple. All governments get with the ego, all individuals in the community get with the ego. And this money, how will it come from? All through the members of the community. Or we can have through equity. We can have through loan or grants, as in loan for members of the community. It will help with the business, so that from the profit of the business, the loans will be paid back to the people who retire the loan, age pay the business. What to do, members of the community can also bring money as grants. Most times, communities name launching. And we can on a MA launching with ego, a GMP business. Our duty in this community is organizing in your hacker to identify tinye hacker has what and what they will do. On a hammer identify, see, maybe they want to go into farming or manufacturing. We help them to set up and draw up a proposal, do a business plan, what it will cost, because it is in the business plan that you identify the cost implication in the business. Most businesses never today because in any concrete plan, there's no business plan. And my hug course at the end of the day, it will not be they don't have the capacity. And we have the capacity to do a business, give it there. No matter how much you put into that business, it will not thrive for long. Very soon it may collapse. So what we do is to make sure we guide them properly. Those who will manage the business are those who are qualified to manage it. Or he will raise somebody, manager of the business, whereas when him about business management, at the end of the day, no matter how much you put into that business, it will collapse. So we make sure we guide them on business plan development and assisting them to register the businesses in Corporate Affairs Commission. So that
okay, thank you, Chigozie. Just hold on there in case Professor Zako will ask George or Ichuge.
I said, Prof, I think because we wanted time, I wouldn't want to trouble him more, but I align myself completely with the party that they are taking. So let's move on. I'm sure we have one or two other people, and then I'll make a comment because I've checked the time. We're almost there now. Thank you, Prof.
Okay, that's fine. So, Chigozie, immunicable communities in the Gina because all the yes, we know what we are doing, but also highlight some of the communities we have been to. So that the people listening to us will appreciate that there are communities who are coming forward to embrace this idea.
Okay, well, I have been to Nise Ugurike. I have been to Umapo in a Hadibu local governments. Agakwalamo Ugirina, Isi Alambano. Agalamo Ata West. Okay, Eze Ben Udineho, the traditional ruler. I have also been to Awo Hidim and others. I can't mention all of them, sir. So here are all the ones I can recall right now.
Okay, based on your experience with these communities, can messaging in your government, can feedback in and went there, and that's thinking about your government to can you get government?
Okay, yeah. The communities are ready to open businesses to help reduce unemployment and generate revenue in their communities. Mana ọ na-adị mkpa because ọ na-emepe business anaghị adịcha very easy to manage. Government from time to time kwesịrị ị na-eleba anya sị ndị a na-eme ihe a olee ihe wụ mkpa unu, olee otu a ga-esi enye unu aka. Ọwụ through grant, when they see that these businesses are running and doing well, they can help them through grants and access to loan so that hey, we can na-emekwu ọfụma karịa. So ọ ga-amasị m that when these businesses are set up, ọ na ha dị fully registered, government should give them access to grants and loans so that we can increase their capacity and produce more. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Chigozie Ibalera. Thank you, and also thank the other consultants. Prof, I'm gonna ajuju or comment.
Yes, just following his last comment. Engineer Mbaoje. Government do provide access to finance. Although this particular government led by distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma is exceptional because it wants to give money to businesses, which is not usual. But remember that government should apply the same rules in the bank and them apply. That is to say, businesses don't prepare now, they must prepare themselves. They must be seen that they are already in operations and they are capable of managing the money hanging, whether from the bank or from the government. And that is the comment I want you to take note. So that when you're educating them, it's not that they set up business and that's enough. They must show that the business is trading, is making profit, is bankable, and so on and so forth. So I leave it there so that we can get on with other things. Prof.
Thank you, Prof. That's a very good observation, and thank you for that. So let's move to the office now. Mrs. Jovita Agu, having listened to the consultants and what they are doing, do you want us in your office in the office in on and what the plans are? So then again, in the
Okay, they want to. Hello, our listeners. The Office of Chief Economic Advisor has been doing a lot in the area of this OKOBI initiative. So we have our OKOBI for students, which is OKOBI Students Club. And we have our OKOBI for kindreds and other groups. And very importantly, we have OKOBI for communities, which is what we're, giving a lot of focus on at the moment. So out of the communities in Imo State, which is numbering about 657, we have decided to start with 100 communities as a pilot. So we have appointed a couple of consultants who are going around to different communities in different local governments and different senatorial zones to preach the OKOBI business. So this OKOBI for communities is doing two things for us, is to take OKOBI to the grassroots, as well as, appoint communities who are interested in this OKOBI program. Right now, we have almost exceeded the 100 community mark I reach out to. And when we go to these communities, I normally would ask one question: how many of you know about OKOBI? And a number of them will say, yes, I know about OKOBI, but some of them may not have the, proper understanding of OKOBI. So a lot of them have indicated much interest in this initiative, and they have told us that they are ready. And even as our consultants are saying, some of them are being a bit skeptical, giving all sorts of reasons why they are not sure the government is there to support them. And some of them are thinking that, government is going to be making business. And of course, we make it really clear to them that government cannot set up your business. So government can only support you in ideas, coming up with a business that you want to do, and helping with the business plan and then registering the business for you and working with you through to the process of setting up your business and helping you to identify, people and groups that can help you to set up these businesses for your communities. So these are the things we're doing. And we're also going ahead to say to these communities, civic, all of you have to work together. And like we rightly said, there are some of them that are not together, both the PG, the AZES and all that. And one community leader, one AZE said, oh, his PG has his own government and he has his own. We didn't even bother with that community. We didn't bother taking the conversation further because I know that at some point there will be factions, there will be issues. So we have more than enough communities who are ready to work with us, who are ready to, who are together. So we're focusing on those. So this is encouraging all the communities to please try and work together, because if there are issues or challenges anywhere, when it can affect human area to those communities. So these are the things we're doing at this point. So those communities who are still desirous or interested in us getting to them, we may still, just call on to us, call the office and let us even work with you and see if there are, spaces anywhere where we can, accommodate your community so that this good news from the government of Imo State will get to all the communities who are interested in, bringing development to their individual communities or their respective communities.
Okay, is it possible to, thank you very much, but is it possible to talk briefly about the grant competition and the state where we are with it?
Oh, yes. So we have the OKOBI for the kindreds and other groups. We have cooperatives who have registered and some, group-owned businesses, and then, corporate affairs registered business, provided they are group-owned. Businesses that are owned and run by a group. So these are the people that the competition is open to. So, we've been supporting these businesses. And right now, we have these grants up to 5 million naira that can be won by any group-owned business. The grant is completed, and the competition is completed, and we're at the process of, identifying the winners. So Anya Gala, from the long list, those are qualified, and from there we have gotten to the short list. And at this point, we have at the shortlist stage, we have about 70-something businesses that have made it to this list at this point. So these businesses, from next week that we're entering, we're going to start the interview process. So that interview process would mean that we have a panel of judges who would, call the business owners or the representatives of each businesses to explain to us what they have written in their business plan. And in answer to the questions they were asked, because we have limited funds, so the competition or the winners will be for those that have met the criteria, those that have convinced us that they are ready to use the money for the purpose which it is meant. So that is what we're doing right now. So after that stage of competition, we do due diligence. After the stage of interview, we also have due diligence, and the interviewers, of course, will be from our office, civil society, from the academia, from the government, from the business area. So we have representatives on the panel from different sectors. So after that, we do due diligence. We have our consultants who will also go to the different businesses to see if what they have given us is what they are doing. Their business, my record keeping, how businesses. So when we do that, then at that point, some people may also drop. And then finally, we'll also have another, panelists that will come, at the final stage to decide who the winners of the grants will be. So there are 2 million grant winners, 3 million grant winners, and up to 5 million. So that is what we're doing at this point. So this is September we're entering. So before the end of October, the winners will be announced. Thank you. And I'll go ahead to give the phone number of the Office of the Chief Economic Advisor in case you have questions to ask. So on the WhatsApp, you reach us on both phone call and a message on WhatsApp 090-115-89113. WhatsApp 090-115-89113. And then on the phone 0911-4360-076. Phone call again 0911-4360-076. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that's all we have for today. So thank you for listening. Thank you, Professor Juden Zako, the co-moderator. Thank you, Chigozie, Jinamboje, Udonguma, and Chioma Amadi, our consultants. Thank you to Adeze Shaheme, Adeze Mwaka, Ubanamani, for the economic advisor. I remain your host, Professor Kenneth Amechi, and see you next time.
Suzy, nne m ahụ gị bụ sọ mma. Ọ dị ka ị nwetala ọrụ n'oil company.
Yusi nwanne m mgbado udo dị o nweghịkwa ọrụ oil company m nwetara. Ihe ị hụrụ m na-amụke wụkwa aka ọrụ OKOBI.
Ele nke wụkwa OKOBI. Biko tupu enye m azụ, ahụ chele m anya, ahụ m chọrọ enyemaka.
Ya bụ na ịnụbeghị maka OKOBI. Ngwa gee ntị. OKOBI wa atụmatụ ọma gọọmenti hiwere iji kpochapụ ụbịam na-akpụ ndị mmadụ isi aghara aghara. OKOBI ga-ekewapụta ohere ọrụ maka gị o maka ọha obodo gị niile. Naanị legharịa anya gburugburu gị chepụta nnọọ ihe ọbụla gị na ụmụnne na ụmụnna gị ndị enyi ma ọ bụ ndị obodo gị nwere ike ịgbakọta aka mepụta ya mma dịka ịzụ ọkụkọ, azụ, oke bekee, ịkọ painiapụl, ịsụ mmanụ nkwụ ma ọ bụ mmanụ aṅụ na ọtụtụ ihe ndị ọzọ dị iche iche. Unu hazicha usoro eji eme ya ka ọ bụrụ ihe ga-amịpụta ego. Unu agbapụzie ya ọsọ gaa kpọtụrụ onye ji ọkwa Chief Economic Advisor n'ọchịchị steeti Imo. Ọ ga-agbazi unu olu nye unu ntụziaka hazie ụkpụrụ a ga-eji mee ya ka ọ kwụsị ike ma mịta ezi mkpụrụ. Ọ ga-enyekwa aka n'ikewapụta ohere ọrụ nye ndị na-achọ ọrụ n'obodo.
Biko nye m akara ekwentị ha ka m kpọọ ahụ ozugbo.
Ngwa were ihe dedata ya 07013512035 07013512035 ma ọ bụ 09114360076 09114360076. Ịkpọrọ ha ị ga-enweta ọsịsa maka ihe niile gbasara OKOBI. OKOBI wa atụmatụ bụ ịgba Shared Prosperity Government nke Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma.
OKOBI ụmụnna wike ọwụ ha agha.